We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Many years I had accumulated a shoulder injury due to lifting heavy weights back then. You know, this was in high school. And it's kind of interesting because recently this injury's been bothering me for many years. And recently, 2018, my brother, Dr. Boz Moreno, has suggested that I take some of his B Venom, a homeopathic solution he put together. And I was like, yeah, let me try it. Let me see what's up. At first, I was kind of skeptical to the situation, but then at the same time, with its track record, I was like, yeah, he be putting it down when it comes to homeopathic medicines and whatnot, you know, due to the history we have with each other and whatnot. So I was like, yeah, let me get some. So I end up ordering some, read the instructions, what I need to do, how much I need to illustrate within or add to my body or whatever the case may be. So over a 2-month period, I took it. I took injections from every Tuesday, so 4 times a week, 4 times a month. So I took it for 2 months, and after the second month, I noticed that my arm was not hurting anymore. The muscle had repaired itself, literally, you know, and I was like, whoa, let me start sharing this with people, you know, really start giving them an opportunity to check out what's actually involved with B Venom. So tune in. We definitely got some more exciting things. If you're interested in administrating some B Venom, check out our advertisement that we have that's supporting this podcast. Otep, I am that I am. Some call me Haru. Your modern monk, your cannabis fitness strategist, back at it again, here with you, with the mind, the body, the soul, the financial, the mental, the spiritual. Time to come to one. You're here at You Are the Gym podcast show, live, Instagram, and live recording with episode 111. If you haven't tuned in and you don't know, go tune into my other shows I just did previously. There was some flashbacks that I did a couple years back, actually 10 years, a whole decade ago. Interesting enough. Just opening the mind, the body, the soul. We're talking about 111th episode. We're talking about vaccines and vaccinations. Oh, we all want to go out and get them. So, let me start off with my introduction. Thank yous. Of the gratefulness, the comments, the shares, the fellowships, the emails, the texts, and all the other fun stuff that we got going on here in these days and times. Even though, shout out to your family who's all on the show today, live, as we go deeper and deeper within the womb of America, within the womb of history. That's a good term, within the womb. So like I said, thank you for subscribing. Shout out to all of you who's been making that 3,000 downloads per week, killing it. So we definitely making some things happen here. I want to give you praise and all that good stuff there. You can always tune in to the show via my podcast show. You can always hit me up at You Are the Gym / You Are the Gym podcast show, as well as podbean.com. You can always get me on Spotify. You can find me on Google Podcasts. You can find me on iTunes and many more. All you got to do is Google You Are the Gym, and I will pop right up to the top. Black hell. Like I say, right up to the top. You see the mountaintop? You see that mountaintop? That's what Martin Luther King was talking about. The mountaintop. The mountaintop. What they say, 1 billion informed per day keeps the stupidity away. So, shout out to my sponsor, to my brother, Dr. Boz Moreno, for the Wellness and Health Method Moreno. Shout out to you. His website, those of you who are serious about your health, having some complications. You may even be dealing with some tumors. You may be even dealing with some cancers and some certain ailments and diseases that you can't find a cure. Therefore, the cure is there. And the brother, Dr. Boz, may have your answer. You can reach him on his website at drbozmoreno.xyz. You can always reach him at drbozmoreno.com, as well as email the brother at support@methodmoreno@gmail.com. And you can text the brother at 404-462-0571. That boy look all professional. You know how they do them from commercials. 404-462-0571. And that's some serious talk too, because this brother has actually been doing a lot of innovative things. He's working on currently, he shared with me that he's working on the new variant COVID situation that's been going on, how the variant's been coming along. And it's funny too, because we really don't, it's interesting how we get caught up in the fear. We don't even listen to what the experts are truly saying. And the experts are not your CDC. The experts are not your FDAs. The experts are not your FBIs and your CIAs. But I want to give them thanks for keeping us ignorant, keeping us deaf, dumb, blind, keeping us stupidity so they can control, you feel me? So they can control the status quo. Because see, when you look into history, history shows us this, shows us these means of greed, shows us these means of so-called pride. Pride in who? Pride in what? Think about it. Even in the last, when you're looking at the beginning of the century, not this century, but the last century, you got to realize it was an understanding where people were working together because they had to work together because there was only a certain amount of people. What I mean about a certain amount of people, it was only a certain group of people that was involved in these pandemics, issues and stuff like that. So they cared about their own. Oh my goodness. But therefore you have obesity. Therefore you have all these elements of processed food, of creating industries that have been dumbed down, that have been poisoned. Vaccinations. Getting off subject. Let me get back on subject. My sponsor. Yeah, that brother with your health, fitness, physically, mentally. Talk to your brother Haru, the modern monk. YouAreTheGymBody.com, as well as You Are the Gym. YouAreTheGym.com. You Are the Gym Live. Email a brother, youarethegym@gmail.com. You can always text a brother. Let me know what's up before you just give a brother a call. Let me know who you are and what your concern. What do you really want to do? How do you really want to take advantage or take control or take ownership of your life? Because that's really what we're here for. You are the gym. You are the gym body, and the whole embodiment of this particular platform is to educate, extract the knowledge, therefore develop a training regimen to keep the mind, the body, the soul in a particular format, in a particular health state, a homeostasis state. You feel me? Y'all not with me. Y'all not with me. Y'all not with me. But I do got some t-shirts. I do got that merchandise, that You Are the Gym merchandise, that merch. You feel me? I got t-shirts right now for $27 a piece. Free shipping and handling anywhere on the plane. You feel me? Anywhere on the plane. I said it. Anywhere on the plane. So buy 2, 3, 4, 5, 20, 30 of them bitches. You feel me? You Are the Gym. Represent all around the world. That's what we got to do. We got to represent all around the world because you are the gym. The world is your gym. So you have to take advantage of this opportunity. Take control of your life. Take possession of the entity that you have been embedded. You feel me? Y'all not with me. Y'all not with me. So let's dive deep. My deep divers. Episode 111. Yes, we just keeping on moving. Loving it. Enjoying the shows. And I have been on a delay aspect for the last 2 shows. Even though you can go listen or tune in to those shows that was talking about my brother. We was talking about autonomy. Me and my brother Nas. This was back in 2010. Just this just show you where the mindset was back in the day. You feel me? Where the mindset was back in the day. Looking crazy. See, that's how, boy, that boy hit that. He hit that jumper. You feel? He hit that eat. Y'all not with me. And then we hit that other show. I hit another show, and this was like 2012 roughish. I was in that Florida. I was down in that Florida, that Kissimmee area, where we actually just educating the mind, extracting the mind, getting people to wake up during this period of time. Even though we've been sleeping. But it's funny because a lot of people are not getting enough sleep too. That's another thing. Therefore, the mind and the body, the immune system is not able to rebuild, to replenish, to grow, and protect themselves or protect itself from dis-ease. Let me drink to that one. I'm going to drink to that one. Forgive all the airplane or whatever helicopter sound like. They probably looking for somebody, some homeless guy somewhere running around butt naked. he violated one of the one of the stores over here or something crazy. All this crazy shit going on out here in the Honolulu area. 900,000 people. And you know what? Out of those 900,000 people, they said 69% is vaccinated. But we got rates. It's going higher and higher. What the hell is that all about? Yeah, you know what it's all about? A lot of people are unhealthy. And we're going to get into that side of the story. But first, let me get you on the same plane where I'm actually coming from the beginning, from the tip-top tippy. So we're going to jump into what vaccine and vaccinations actually, what is it? You know what I'm saying? What is it? Why do we do it? Why have we been discovering this particular element in the last, few hundred years? Vaccinations, even though they was having remedies, these are something different. That's something different. Remedies and vaccines. Because we're dealing with something that they don't really understand. They don't understand vaccines, people. So I don't understand why people are going out and getting something that they don't understand. That's just like you and your relationships. You don't understand your relationships because you're not willing to take the time to understand the relationship. You're not able to communicate with that significant other to understand how he works, how she works, what she's thinking about, what makes her happy. You feel me? That's the key understanding. That's the moment, right? As Think and Grow Rich was talking about, Napoleon Hill, when you read that great, awesome book and apply it to your life. Oh, y'all not with me, man. Y'all not with me. I'm trying to look. There ain't no trying. I'm striving to get y'all to see the bigger picture. Stop being a fucking slave. Can we do that? Can we stop being a slave for at least a good million years? The last, 500 years, we've been slaves like a motherfucker. Everybody. Even your Elon Musk, all of them. Everybody consumed. Yeah, he may have the money, do this, do that, but he's still a slave. Bill Gates, they still a slave. They're part of still this agenda that whatever this 1% or whoever this people who create in the CDC, and you know the CDC is private. Even though Home Depot is part of that infrastructure, they help them out, they support them, they do all this thing because it's for the people. And it's not for the people. That's the thing. People don't understand that. It's not for the people. It's not for the safety of the people. A fucking mask ain't gonna do shit for you with the vaccine or with the so-called disease, virus, or whatever the case may be. The key thing is, you know what the biggest number one issue with the so-called coronavirus is? Obesity. Obesity. You know how many unhealthy motherfuckers it is 24/7, 7 days a week walking around you and not motivated, have problems, and the problems are really in the weight. Think about it. In the weight. And where's that weight preside? Where did that weight live? Right in that fucking gut.
Gut health. They always talking about gut health. This gut health's been discovered recently. Keep it real with you. As far as this infrastructure and movement, you get these big ass bodybuilders, and their gut look like shit. You don't have to have no abs, but at the same time have good gut health. You ever heard of probiotics? Y'all not. The one thing about life is simple to apply. You know what fucks it up? We allow somebody else who don't know your body come in and invade your privacy. Vaccines. We're talking about vaccines and vaccinations right now. And one of the things is, how do we stay ignorant? That's another thing. We know, okay, granted, we had a vaccine for chicken pox and all this other bullshit. We don't know if that shit worked, but we know one thing that worked. When you change your diet, when you change your environment, we know these things to be exact. When you change your education, or when you get the education to be able to change your infrastructure, these issues are no longer there. They don't exist. Oh, sanitation. That's the word. Sanitation. When you're keeping things in a perspective, not living like a fucking pig, like a lot of these Hawaiians are doing out here. And then we wondering why we all got these certain situations going on out here. Y'all not ready. I'm telling you, y'all not ready for the truth. Just like your brother in the movie said, you can't handle the truth. You can't handle it. Even if fucking Jesus came right now today on the plane, right now in front of you and said, come on to me, my son or my daughter, you wouldn't even recognize. You think he's a loony. Or Muhammad or any of these, Buddhism, all of them. If they even existed. That's if they even existed. Even if they lived on this plane. Vaccines, vaccinations. Y'all not ready. Y'all, that boy be just like C.T. Fletcher. Shout out to C.T. Fletcher. Because come to find out, C.T. Fletcher, we actually kin to C.T. Fletcher. He's actually a cousin of us. A cousin of ours. He happened to be my uncle. Well, cousin. He actually would be a cousin of ours. Because his come to find out, his grandfather was my grandfather's brother. So he would technically be, he'd be a cousin, right? So shout out to you. I like what that brother said. That brother be on it. You feel me? He's straight up. And you wondering why these gains are so big. You see that y'all not ready for that. That's some serious gain. That brother be up in. Y'all not ready for you. This is the podcast. You are the gym. If you don't know, now you know, as Big Papa would say, Notorious B.I.G. Vaccines. We gonna hit you up on the head real quick. It's a sister y'all all gotta go check out. She's been hitting them up for years now. Her name is Dr. Nancy Turner Banks. Go look her up. Dr. Nancy Turner Banks. And she's got a lot of interesting information. She came out with a video back in 2012 and was talking about the vaccine issue, right? How we have been taking our children to these motherfucking doctors, getting all these vaccines, and we wonder why ADHD and all these other autism and all this other shit been popping up. Think about it. I'm in a generation where we kind of skipped over that. That wasn't even the issue, because it wasn't as much surveillance. It wasn't as much of control, even though it was coming. Star Wars. And I mean in Star Wars when, the Ronald Reagan bullshit. Who's going to get to, who's going to be doing all this shit up in space and all this stuff. Even though I really keep it real with y'all 100%. I don't think we're in space. I think it's a big illusion. They're making up all this shit to keep us occupied, keep us deaf, dumb, blind to the fact. I don't got a jet plane. I don't have the money to get a jet plane or a spaceship like these brothers Bezos and all these other motherfuckers. And why would they want to do that anyway? You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be an asset to the world and help the world, do something that's helping the world. Not and I love what I think it was Griffin Yeah, Griffin. Now I can. Eddie Griffin. Eddie Griffin had mentioned. He said these motherfuckers are stupid. Why would you take all your money and do something that? Don't take me wrong. We don't know what's going on in the space. We don't know what the fuck is going on. You don't know what they're giving you in these medications. We don't even know what the fuck we eating. Unless you growing it organically, you doing it yourself. You putting your fingers in that dirt. You know what kind of dirt you created. You creating them orgasms. You're creating that substance. You feel me? That's the difference. That's what we have to take back. We gotta take it back. I love you, Hoppo. See, she said she loved Hoppo. That's what she told it. She said, that's my industry right there. I'm taking it to the next level. If my name ain't Oprah Winfrey. Y'all not with me. Vaccines, vaccinations. Why would you want to... Look, the whole key thing is why. That's the key thing. Second question would be, why now? Why now? After all this stuff, all the flu and all this other stuff that's been going on, right? TB and all these other different drugs and stuff. Oh, look what it has done. We don't even have no really evidence. The evidence is really not shown there. They'll tell you that. The evidence is not shown there. But see, when you have created an illusion, kind of like what religion has done. Religion was the conqueror. Religion was the conqueror once upon a time. All of a sudden you got, think about it, you got Africa. All of a sudden they're all Christians in Africa. And all these other countries. You gotta, please people, please think for yourself for one time or ask the question. You know, the Bible didn't even exist. Literally, the Bible didn't even exist. The stories was created. Think about it. Why do we do nursery rhymes? Why do we sing songs? You feel me? We keep these things merry-go round and round. Roses are red, violets are blue, right? When you really start getting into origins of these songs and poems and stuff, you be like, damn, that's crazy. Alice in Wonderland, Wizard of Oz. All these stories are dedicated to some repugnant, crazy ass shit. And when you look at, think about this, when you look at certain people that were like multi-billionaires, you know what I'm saying? I'm using Rockefeller as an example. He was a multi-billionaire. He made Jeff Bezos look like that dude didn't even have no money. And think about it. Money had more value back in 1900s. Early 1900s. It had way more value. So he was balling beyond balling. Like I told people, this dude was building islands. He was building Honolulus. He was building Hawaii's in areas that was like, okay, he owned all this. No wonder why all these particular industries, people don't even know, especially in the black HBCUs bullshit. You know, he supported most of those black historical colleges, and it was for only an agenda that you're not getting either, because we just want the money. We just need the funding. You remember the Tuskegee experiment? A lot of y'all don't even, like I said, a lot of y'all don't even get into history, so y'all don't really understand what is going on. I'm not saying I got everything, and what I want you to do, I want you to do your own damn research. Do your due diligence. Go do your research. You'll be surprised of the shit that we're doing right now. CDC, FBI, CIA, all of it's bullshit. These was created systems to keep you deaf, dumb, blind, keep you from away. Oh yeah, I want to be a police officer. And I want to fight for my country because I want to fight for my country for what? You go into a poor ass house. That's the funny thing too. All these broke ass people, you go to the military, You broke anyway. You come back. What are you doing for your community? You're not doing shit. Your community's still the same or it's worse. I lived in Fairbanks, Alaska. You know Fairbanks, Alaska is a trash town. It's a military town. It's trashed. It's nothing there, and it's nothing to offer the people. It hasn't grown mentally, physically, spiritually. Yeah, you gonna tell me about some bullshit, Jesus and God and all this other dumb shit that's been keeping you occupied, keeping you locked down, but you go get the vaccine. You don't know shit about the vaccine, but you go get the vaccine. Shoot me up. Hit me up. Give it to me raw. That's what we doing. That's kind of like, and those of you, they're gonna be tripping on. Those of you just fucking these females without no condom, and then you wonder why you got a fucking baby or you got a fucking disease. Don't you know it's precautions, it's issues? But we're not. That's the problem with our culture. We're not even thinking for ourselves anymore, and we don't know how to think because we're allowing somebody else to think for us. Oh my goodness. That's the whole point of triggering, putting some fire up under your ass. Somebody got to put some fire up under your ass to get you moving. Michael Jordan wasn't so great. Michael Jordan wouldn't have been great if he acted like Kobe Bryant or he acted like Karl Malone. Selfish. Think about it. Look at the attributes. Charles Barkley is a great ball player, but he's a selfish ball player. Michael Jordan wasn't a selfish ball player. When you got on the court with Michael Jordan, you stepped your game up. That was the difference. You see what I'm saying? And it was a mindset too. It was a coach on the court. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all think I'm just throwing out ranting. This brother ranting. He don't give us no resource. I give you resources right at the beginning of the source. Literally, right at the beginning. We're gonna get on the plane. Now let me get us on the playing field right now. I'm gonna go right into the playing field right now. Let me get into what vaccine mean. Or vaccines or vaccinations or however you want to look at it. Because we want to definitely start pushing the envelope a little bit. Give people a more open look. See, because we're not, this is the thing, what I think what's going on within our society. We always talk about freedom of speech and freedom of this and freedom of that. The problem is we tend to buy into all these social media bullshit. Even though at the beginning they're cool with the whatever speech, whatever you go on, and then they sell out. YouTube is not big because of YouTube, right? YouTube is owned by Google now, so Google's doing whatever the fuck they want to do. Google, pretty much, they own Facebook, Facebook own Google, Google own Facebook, Instagram, all of it's the same shit. They all on the same playing field. When they're having meetings and all they're doing is realizing, let's see what we can do. How can we accomplish this to get people off, to get people not doing their freedom of speech? Yeah, they're censoring me. I know this. I see it when even I'm loading my shit up. They're censoring me. I get it. I don't give a fuck. You feel what I'm saying? This is still an understanding that we need to start standing the fuck up. But one of the things we have to do, we have to start being more self-sustained. We got to get away from this fucking government. Well, the government institutions or the social institutions that's keeping motherfuckers deaf, dumb, blind, keeping you down, keeping you low, keeping you barely walking. They overworking people at these jobs, these big ass businesses, hands down, overworking people, and then got the nerve to be complaining about nobody want to show up to work. Does that even make any sense? No, it doesn't. Because all it's doing is their bottom line. They're making $50 million per day, some of these companies, and still want money. Billions and billions. Okay, what's the outcome? What's the outcome? Trash everywhere. Nobody gives a fuck. They claim that they give a fuck. Oh, we love our environment. We want to do this for our environment. Boom, boom, boom. But we want to get you the vaccine because we want to control you. We want to take you out of your element. Literally, that's basically what's going on. We want to take you out of your element. You're not healthy anyway, so come on and get this vaccine. We can help you out. So caught up, we caught up with the red coats, not the red coats, but the white coats. We're caught up in the white coats. Big Pharma. That's all it's about. Big Pharma. What is it? Big Pharma. Big profits. They tell us every day, big pharma, big profits. Now, let me get into this. Much love to those of you who's tuned in to the show. This is You Are the Gym, 111th episode. We're talking about vaccine versus vaccinations. And it's kind of crazy how people are just running to these doctors, running to get these vaccines and don't have no understanding about what the fuck is going on. And then, you know when you read the ingredients, can you just read the ingredients of what they putting in this? Oh, well, it's poison, it's this, that, and that's a poison. What the fuck you think it's going to do to your body? Even though you got a lot of poisons in your body anyway, that's why you're not able to get an erection. Right? Even with the females, even the females don't even want to get down anymore. Because the food, it's the food. It's the food, it's the lifestyles we live in. It's crazy. The water we drink, that's the other thing. The water. The coldest. And don't go into the pop soda and all that other shit people drinking. All the beer and all this nasty shit we doing. And the energy drinks, oh my goodness. Energy drinks is just destroying us. Matter of fact, I just made a vendetta. I just made a vow to myself to stop drinking the energy drinks. You know, get off of them. Leave them alone. Because they no good. We don't know what they're going to produce in the long term. Excuse me, it's getting a little hot in here. It's getting hot in here. Nelly. How you doing, Nelly? Let me get up out of here. And forgive the swollenness, you know what I'm saying? Forgive the swollenness. You know, that brother, that's all I can do is get swole on a positive. They call me Shredder. They call me Mr. Shredder now. No, let's go into this vaccine.
Vaccine.
A substance used to stimulate the production of antibodies and provide immunity against one or several diseases, prepared from the causative agent of a disease. Its products or synthetic substitute treated to act as an agent without inducing the disease. Let's talk about a little bit about antibodies, right? Shall we? Antibodies is interesting. Now, within our body, we create certain things. We create factors with our fighters that fight these particular diseases. Think about it. We got viruses every day going around us 24/7. Our bodies just have built up the immunity to create and destroy them. The problem is that we have been eating like shit, right? We're obese. And brothers and sisters, it's interesting because we don't really think about our eating habits in general. We're eating every 2 hours. And you know where I would say where that culture come from? It comes from the fitness industry. People have adopted that shit. Especially with these brothers and these big ass bodybuilders. Every 3 hours you gotta eat something. See, that's a lie in itself. That's a myth. That's a lie in itself. Because what you're doing, you're destroying the lining in your belly. You see what I'm saying? With all that bullshit we putting in. Look, we're creating whey protein and all this shit that don't even really digest in our body correctly. You feel what I'm saying? That's another thing I don't think people really realize. And then you putting this vaccine with these ingredients that don't... Brothers and sisters, the scientists don't even know what it's doing to the body. They said rats was done using some of these vaccines. The rats was dying like 2 months. They were dying in 2 months. So what you think people going to be doing? Huh? Even though I wouldn't necessarily compare a rat to or a mice to a man, but at the same time, these are the studies that's been advocated over the years, over the decades, that we have been noticing certain ideas, scenarios. That's why I'm a big advocate of intermittent fasting or periodic fasting or many other terms they're using these days. Fasting in general, building the body, allowing your stomach to digest the food, to allow your body to grow in its normal, in its I guess I'm trying to find the word in its perfect manner, I would guess, when you allow your stomach to truly digest the food and go to the right places in your body, to performance, to building muscle gain, to building muscle strength. See what I'm saying? It all makes sense when you really break it down in a simplicity type of mentality. That's why we gotta be cautious of what we're putting in our bodies, period. Don't take me wrong. I don't know what this water has in it. You know what I'm saying? But I know the pH level is it's my room temperature right now. I know that for a fact. And I know the water is somewhat good because I haven't had no crazy response to the water ingestion, right? Far as here in Hawaii. According to what results when I looked at the water, looked up, I can't even say, the water company here, some of the best water, they got some of the best water in the world, literally, coming right out here in Hawaii, literally, some of the best water out of the sink, hands down, you know, and it tastes good. Actually, it tastes good. Even though we've been conditioned, to all these forms of water in these plastic bottles that we advocate of plastic waters and all this other stuff. But we don't know what we're drinking. We don't know what we're doing. And think about that. The people who's about my age, man, who would ever thought we would be drinking water out of a fucking bottle? You know what I'm saying? I'm used to tap water. Get that tap water, brother. Take it back to the old school. You feel me? But now we got to be cautious of that. We got to be cautious of every aspect of our living situation unless we're off the grid, self-sustained. You know what I'm saying? Using solar, using wind turbines, earthship building, you know, Cobb home. You feel me? These are the things. But like I said, we're talking episode 101, or 11101, 111, vaccines and vaccinations. So I just gave you the definition of vaccine. Now I want to go over to vaccination. And this is our good old Google, the monster of our internet, the World Wide Web. It says treatment with vaccine to produce immunity against a disease. Right? Against a disease. Now, why are these diseases formulating? What has it been? Yes, we got a lot of people on the planet. They keep saying what? They keep saying 8 billion. I think they're saying 8 billion now. And they finally officially said 8 billion. Some cases, some statistics. Some people have been saying 8 billion or less, 7 billion, 8.1 or something like that. You don't have to quote me on that one. You can go look it up yourself. Do your due diligence. Like I say every time, I'm not a doctor, but I'm a realist. Let me say it like that. I'm not a doctor, and so don't listen to a word that I say, but listen to the words that I say. Because I'm tired of that information too. If you're not a doctor, go check your physician. And most of your physicians of course, they're going to give you some pills or something else so they can get paid. You feel me? So they can get paid or their status quo. Because they're not doing no homework. You know that? Most of these physicians and doctors, they're not doing their homework. So they don't give a fuck. They just going to sell you the vaccine. Give it to you. Give them the shot. Give it to them. Give it to them. And you're wondering why all these motherfuckers on meth and all the rest of these drugs out here. Y'all not hearing me, man. I talked about that substances. Different substance abuse. You know, all these different elements that we putting in our body. Because look at the culture, what we've been creating over the years. 80s, think about it. The 80s, no kids was popping pills. All of a sudden, late 90s, all of a sudden everybody popping pills. We starting to get in that popping pill culture. Then the fitness industry just took it to a whole nother level. Oh, supplementation. We're going to do this and we're going to take it there. Even though I had a friend, his parents owned a supplementation company back in the day. They was actually and it's interesting too why they didn't grow as big, you know, even though they was in a small town. But my point is that they didn't grow as big and created franchises and took it to the next level, if that makes sense. So, vaccines. So I'm going to go deeper into this a little bit because I wanted to kind of give people some resources. But this resources, they always say quote 3 resources, right? But I'm going to give you one resource that she breaks down everything in the book. She even breaks a book to your attention that was written in 1992. That they was talking about this shit back in the day. What vaccines and what was the purpose of them and how they just took over the industry. And you know who the foundation was? The solid foundation. Rockefeller. Rockefeller. I'm not telling y'all nothing new. That's another thing too. All these videos everybody's putting out and information people putting out is nothing new. You see what I'm saying? It's just connecting the dots, people. Connect the dots. Put things together. That's all we're asking. Like I say, I want to give a shout out to CDC, the FDA, the CIA, and all these big corporations that's been fucking up the country, fucking up the world, literally. Big thumbs up to you, and hopefully you learn something in the process where you're no longer gonna be it's no longer gonna be the status anymore. Big businesses, I think, is gonna be going downhill because you can't keep. Look, people are gonna be wiped out. Literally, people are gonna be wiped out, and maybe I'm exaggerating, or maybe I'm going too far with this, but people need to realize that concept or that statement, as Darwin had used to say, only the strong survive. Even though it's more to that statement, that's another thing I think people don't really realize. Jack of all trades, master of none. Right? We say these statements, but we really don't get deep into these concepts, these sayings, because most of these concepts and sayings come from broke ass people. Think about Buddha. All the stuff he'd been saying was on a poor mentality. Think about it. It's all enlightenment for a poor motherfucker. Period. Hands down. Broke. This idea of money, monetary system, is a new concept, people. It's a new concept. That's why this is where we gotta and it's weird how we jump on, kind of like the Bitcoin thing. I mean, we jump into these, soon as they give it to the big master, well, I wouldn't even say masters, the puppet master, let's say it like that, the puppet master. Soon as they give it to them, they convolute it, they destroy the essence of it, because I'm sure at one time they had a positive upbringing, how they can help people and this and that. But that don't happen all the time. I mean, I can tell you from even just my experience with Home Depot, the entrepreneur spirit is no longer there. You see what I'm saying? The DIY don't even exist. I don't think y'all paying attention. Y'all not hearing me. So I'm going to refer here in the next couple minutes. I'm going to refer to this sister Dr. Nancy Bank. She's an MD out of Mexico. And she did this YouTube video back in 2012. And it was talking about vaccines. But it was based on vaccines. Why are you taking your child to get these vaccines? Period. Now, she was even saying how 4 years, they did 4 years on cervical cancer, testing these results with this particular product with 4-year patients. How the fuck? And then this stuff was given to these little girls. Resonate on that a little bit. Little girls, 12 years old, giving them the vaccine shot to prevent them from getting cervical cancer. And we talking about a fucking vaccine for the coronavirus. They just put in the lab, done did it for about 6 months, not even a year, and already got a vaccine out for your ass. And you wondering why people, they're responding, their body all cripped up. Watch, we gonna be hearing some crazy shit. Y'all really don't, I'm telling you, I don't think people really think about, you know, the biggest asset is you. You are the biggest asset. And if you allow somebody to take you and create you as a liability, that's what you're going to be. You're going to be a liability. You're going to be a problem. And you're going to have problems day in, day out. This is the purpose. That's why I'm a big advocate of my health. If I got clear mind, clear body, I can make clearer decisions, clearer choices on what I do, who I interact with, who I befriend, who I date. You feel me? Because that's important, people. That's important. Your parents don't teach you shit. They're afraid. Your parents teach you fear. Literally, most parents teach you fear in life. That's why you never take the risk in doing anything unbelievable outside the norm. And don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying, because you know, like I said, and I mentioned this a few times, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, they had privilege. They was privileged people. Bill Gates, they was all privileged. They had opportunity. It wasn't like their dad was struggling. The bootstrap story, as they would say, the bootstrap. Yeah, we was poor and this and that. I had to pull my bootstraps up. How many of those stories you hear around? Even these rappers are a joke. Y'all not hearing me on that. Nah, he came from the hood. He came from the hood. Yeah, he came from the hood. He was the middle class kid that seen the hood. He seen the brothers acting up. That's why them brothers be getting murdered. Because some real brothers be like, hell no, y'all know he fake. Y'all not hearing me. Y'all not hearing me. I'm telling you. Because there's a bunch of bullshit in that industry. So it's been interesting too, because they show, so the trend data's on vaccines and vaccination, how it's been going up. Some people been, I'm guessing most of these trends are not necessarily people looking it up. I don't think people are actually doing their due diligence. I think most of these trends are the particular doctors, you know, doing their research and whatnot. Even though I think it's always an illusional type situation how they're approaching with the propaganda. You feel me? I mean, Google's the biggest, you know, search engine, hands down, right? Nobody really compare. I don't even think Yahoo even up there anymore. I don't even think they even in the game no more. You don't even really hear nothing about Yahoo. The only thing you hear about Yahoo is probably Yahoo Mail. If that. What y'all got to say? I know people in here listening. I mean, would you agree? I mean, what's some of your thoughts? That's one of the things too with this show. I want to definitely hear more of your thoughts, because people are running rampant to this, going to get a vaccine, but then at the same time, they are not doing their homework. They're just doing it because everybody else say go do it. You feel what I'm saying? Just like the slave master. The slave master tell you to do something, you did it. What's your name, boy? What's your name, girl? You feel me? It's a cold game. I'm telling you, it's a cold game. But we allow an outsider to predict and tell us what to do. She said, this is what she was saying. Concerns about parents getting their children vaccinated issues. That was one of her concerns with this particular video. The CDC, the FDA, the truth were two different things. That's the thing. That's the situation. And it hasn't changed, right? It has not changed. The CDC is going to keep doing, they're going to keep keeping people in the ignorant side of things. You telling me now we got to mandate mask again? Even though the mask ain't doing shit for nobody. Yeah, it might help you from allergies, keeping you cool from that. Okay, cool, given. We walking around looking like Korea and all the rest of these so-called countries that have all this pollution that's fucking everybody up. But nobody's questioning that. Our environment. City environments. Now they trying to take all the rural areas and make them cities. Uh-oh. Y'all not feeling me. Look at Washington State. That's a great example. All the areas that were like way out in the boonies, now they're looking like straight little towns coming up. I mean, literally like cities. Now they got the mall area and all this other cliche shit. All the weeds. What was that? Weeds. That movie. The intro. We all look the same. We all act the same, right? We all dress the same. That's what they want to have. 1984. Okay, numbers of vaccines that are given among our children in today's environment. Think about that. You know, we're quick to go get them shot because we're relying on their school systems. We're relying on all their institutions. You see what I'm saying? Now with the jobs, now with these particular jobs, I'm sure if they're going to implement, oh, you got to be vaccinated to be able to work here and all this other shit. Now, we talk about liberties and justice for all. You know what? America, or the so-called United, I don't even know if we even united. We never was united. Because Texas doing their own thing. Florida, they doing their own thing. Florida said, fuck all this lockdown shit. No mask mandate. Fuck y'all. We gonna do our own thing. You feel me? We gonna take care of it our own self. And that's what it used to be. Y'all remember that once upon a time in history? It's like we gonna do our own thing. That's not happening no more. Most of us are slaves, economical slaves. We're in debt. We don't know how to use money. We don't know how to apply it. Oh, I gotta go get a house. Why get a house when you don't even really need a home? You know what I'm saying? Most of the people don't even. The funny thing is, even by using it, is not. You're not even there most of the time. Most people are at work. Occupied. That's the thing. We don't have homesteads no more. None of that stuff is going on anymore. These are the things that I think we discount. You know what I'm saying? The homestead. Remember the homestead? Once upon a time in the history of this country, it used to be homesteads where you can go away from your home for 10, 20 years, come back and still have a home, a beautiful home, and you're producing. You got your own food. Everything is available there for you. You didn't have to go outside for certain things. You feel me? Or outside your particular area or country or city. If it was that. Town. I would say town back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Because now everything is cityfied. I got to go to a grocery store practically every week. That's crazy. Think about that. You got to go to a grocery store almost every week because the products are now smaller portions, right? Smaller portions, and we're eating like crazy now in these days. We're, like I said, we're eating 2 to 3 hours a day. Every 2-3 hours, we're eating something. We're snacking on something. And then we're wondering why the obesity and all these vaccination issues or coronaviruses issues are affecting us. Because, brothers and sisters, we're coming up with, it's so many diseases that's coming out right now, we can't even name them and we can't even keep up with them. Literally. And the crazy thing is, these big pharmas are creating these so-called vaccines and they just putting shit together. They're just trying shit. That's the problem with the vaccines and the vaccinations. They're just trying shit. They don't know if it's going to work. It might work for the temporary. You feel what I'm saying? That you think, oh, okay, I'm good. But we walking around with the mask. And the mask is not going to, that's the funny thing. The mask is not doing anything. It's not doing anything. That's unless we in the full suited up with the, looking like, okay, let me take y'all back. I'm going to take y'all back to E.T. Y'all remember E.T.? extraterrestrial. When they came and got ET, that's what kind of suits we need to be walking in if this virus is all killing people and doing the things it's doing. And the funny thing is, we know viruses metamorphosize, it transforms, right? So obviously what's going on, the transformations is going on within the particular body structures of people, because we're all different. Right? We're all different. So we coming out with these different strains, what is called the variant strain every now, what they claiming, I don't know what the hell they coming out with now. They coming out with all these different, so we're going to have a mandate with the mask. We've been wearing masks. So what's the problem? We've been already doing the shit. That's the crazy thing. And I'm thinking to myself, am I the only one asking this question or what? What's going on? Why are we being so ignorant to the reality of what's going on? So let me get back into this. So she had referred to issues or what are in the vaccines. So we're not even looking at the ingredients, what's going on in these vaccines. They got all these, in the vaccine right now, they got all these killing elements. But they tell you can just put this much in your body. But see, everybody's bodies function different. Certain people have crazy responses, having other problems that come about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing I don't really understand about people. It's just like when you bodybuilding, right? When you bodybuilding, the best remedy for bodybuilding, if you want to get shredded, literally, if you want to get shredded, the best bodybuilding foundation, hands down, is calisthenics or body weight exercises. Hands down. If you want to get shredded, then when you want to get some strength, when you want to get some Superman strength, that's when you take on the compound movements of weightlifting, right? Kettlebells, I wouldn't say too much kettlebells. That's more of speed, endurance. I would say that's in the category of speed, resistance, flexibility, mobility. You feel what I'm saying? On that type. But when you're talking like just compound movements or just moving some big ass weight, that would be the strength wise. Even like pushing up on a wall, just using all your might, just trying to push the wall down. That's when you start getting them fibers, them strong fibers and tendons, so you can start lifting up about 600 pounds in deadlift at a size of 140, and he just lifting up 600 pounds. It happens, right? It happens, So let me dive more into this. So she was breaking down neurotoxics and then amino acids, autoimmune reactions that's set up in the body. She was breaking this stuff down. So it was two forms what goes on in the body. When they give you this vaccine, you have antibodies that's performed within this humira. I'm killing the word humira. It makes more humira. I'm killing the word humira makes the antibodies. It makes more antibodies. But the problem is it suppresses cellular immune system, and it don't develop our cellular system. And see, our cellular system is that's a natural body element or bodybuilding element within us, but we don't allow it to fully grow. Hence why we having crazy other diseases that's introduced to our bodies when we taking these vaccines. And I know we can debate all day about certain vaccines, like for chicken pox, even though I had chicken pox, stuff like that, TB and all these other bullshit stuff that we have manufactured within our society. And you know what it is, like I had referenced before. The key element is when you start really breaking down your diet, improvement of your diet, improvement of your sanitation, and improvement of your education, because and your environment. That's another thing. We got a lot of people on this planet, and then it's places like I'm in a small area. Honolulu is small compared to when you talk. Well, we got 900,000 people on this island. Believe it or not. 900. You know how many people, brothers and sisters, if you see that, when they have traffic jam. For sure. And it makes 405 out in Washington. And those who know what I'm talking about, 405 is crazy. When it take you 2 hours just to get through Bellevue. But it makes this place make that look like it ain't nothing, because it's so small. You feel me? And everybody's going the same way at the same time. Believe it or not, it's crazy. So, like I said, diet improvement, sanitation, as well as education. When you start really understanding that, that's when you're really going to start taking your game to the next level. She quoted, and I'm quoting her on this one. She said, "We are not doing science. We are doing warfare." This is what's going on within our society right now. And it's crazy because we claim we're liberty, justice for all, and all these other cliche patriotic bullshit that we always talk about here in America or United States, or this landmass as we talk about. How patriotic. See, and that's another issue I think we've been having. We talk about being true American and the American dream and all these other cliche bullshit. That stuff haven't existed for the last 50 years. Ever since, and you know where it ended? It ended when Rockefeller became a billionaire. That's when it ended. Because this is where all that patriotic shit went out the window. You see what I'm saying? We started doing these one agendas. Okay, we're going to have this school system. We're going to segregate. We're going to do all these other... We're going to come together. We're going to do all that. That's when everything just fell apart. This country just fell apart. Keep it real with you. It just fell apart. Because the agenda wasn't... We had this one agenda, but the problem is this one agenda don't work. That's like you telling me, okay, now the AC/DC, y'all remember that fight? Tesla and Edison? Y'all don't understand it. See, that's what I'm saying. The history shows you all these one agendas. Therefore, now we're with Edison, his invention, DC, direct current. Tesla was already doing the Wi-Fi. Right? Tesla was doing the Wi-Fi in early 1900s. Late 1800s. It was already the Wi-Fi. All the technology we doing today is nothing new. That's what I'm saying. Even with this vaccines been just discovered in the last few years. I don't mean it like that, but y'all know where I'm coming from, I hope. Oh, but people are able to live longer. Yeah, they're living longer, but look at them. Can't walk, can't move, can't talk. Dementia, Alzheimer's. Come on, people, please. Oh, they live in the 80s and this and that, yeah. But they got a problem. It's a problem. They ain't getting around, moving around. They ain't Jack LaLanne. You feel me? They ain't getting up doing some jumping jacks at 99 years old, getting busy. All this food and medicine crap we've been doing. Then she mentioned one thing that I was like, yeah, you know she's a historian. The acquisition. Let me define that. Acquisition. The history of the acquisition back in the day. What Europe was doing back in the day. Even though it's all incorporated within this country known as North America. Not just North America, but it's everywhere. Everywhere. But North America tend to push things over the top. You remember that movie, Over the Top? Yeah, Over the Top. Let me take it over the top. Let me read that for you. Acquisition. This was interesting. When she mentioned that, I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, what we gonna hit it?
Inquisition.
Inquisition. That's how you pronounce it. Inquisition, acquisition, inquisition. A period of prolonged and intensive questioning or investigation. So she said they was flipping these particular tactics on other holistic or naturopathic doctors, killing the game, destroying the game. Hence, let me give y'all some game. I'm going to give y'all some history right now. Rockefeller was a big advocate of naturopathic medicines back in the day, right? He was a big advocate. He was pushing it. But what happened, the allopathics, these doctors as we know it today, these systems as we know it today, was like, hell no. We're not going to allow you to do nothing in that game. So you're going to have to become one of us, or you're not going to be anybody ever again. That's what has happened. And we see it within the foundation. We see it within the structure of our countries. I say countries because America has influenced a bunch of people, and especially with our tactics and manipulations and trades and all these other games they've been playing over the years. Like I mentioned, how do you go in a country that's been thousands of years older than you, and you convert them into Christians, convert them into Muslims, convert them into Buddhism, convert them into Catholics, convert them into many other religions, and then taking all their resources? Huh? Who has been the greatest of that? But then we got the nerve to demonize Adolf Hitler. Oh my goodness. I don't think y'all feeling me on that one. I don't think y'all feeling me. I'm not saying what these people have done was right. But at the same time, we got to understand what's going on here. What conditioning is going on here. What inquisitions are going on here. She said the vaccines are dangerous. The data is there. That's all I'm saying. On this whole episode 111, talking about vaccines and vaccination, the vaccines are dangerous. Period. Hands down. And if you haven't taken the time to do your homework or do your due diligence, that's the question you got to ask yourself, right? We are not doing science. We are doing warfare. They've been talking about this Agenda 21. They've been talking about cleaning up the population for a long time, getting rid of a whole bunch of people. Hence, zombies. Hence, all these different movies where they killing motherfuckers. Hunger Games. All these movies that's been showing you all in Hollywood. And they're big sellers too. That's another thing. They're big heavy hitters. But it's like we don't even question it. We just go with it. Oh, I like the Star Wars. And that Star Wars series, Disney, you fucked up the whole series. That don't even make no sense. Y'all just destroyed the whole series. The whole essence of Star Wars. The whole point. That's my opinion. But that's on the real. She said the key element too, with all these issues coming about, because the coronavirus, they was actually instrumented something that had never been done in history. Yeah, we had pandemics during history, but this pandemic was unique because it stopped the economic system, the currency. It stopped the people. The people are the currency. You are the energy. You are the power, and they know this. That's why they want to take control of you. Take control of us. And you know what? With our money, with our Bitcoin, with our gold, with our silver, they know we the only ones who can mine this, even though they're creating all these drones and all these robots and stuff like that. It's not a coincidence that we're seeing Amazon.com taking on Bitcoin and all the rest of this. They see profit. But see, this is the key thing. All what's going on if people, Please be with me on this one. Haven't you noticed all the people? It's only one agenda. They're not giving you no options. It's just one agenda. It's my way or the highway. Period. Hands down. Hands down. If it ain't Jeff Bezos, he's the internet king. You feel me? The retail king is Walmart. Sam Walton, if he was still alive, that dude. If Sam Walton was still alive, I think Jeff Bezos would be having a run for his money. Hands down. Hands down. Because Sam Walton was no joke. He was no joke. That's the king. Walmart is the king of retail. We're seeing that. And you know what's so genius about Walmart? Walmart have everything. The only thing they ain't selling is cars yet. Cars and homes. But they got everything else for you. And they might be doing it. Knowing these guys, they might be doing something like that. But my point is understanding what's going on within our society. Because we didn't need as much as we need today. That's the crazy thing. Look at your advertisements. Look at all the bullshit, the propaganda. Everything, sell you this, sell you that. Oh, now I want you to drink mud. It will help you with your testosterone levels and all this other shit. These dudes make millions. They make millions going, and then you don't even hear them ever again. Ty Lopez, and all these other crazy brothers. Make one product, get billions of dollars, and be gone. Don't see him ever again. What's his name? Kevin Trudeau? Kevin, the Mega Reader. Y'all remember that? Mega Speed Reader? Y'all remember that? What was the name? The other dude, Lepre, John Lepre. I think his name was John Lepre back in the day. He was doing all the ads back in the day. Y'all not with me. The story keeps telling, even the dude Wolf of Wall Street bullshit brother, Jordan Bradford, whatever the brother's name. Same situation. That's what I'm saying. It's like we're not even questioning anything. We just allow, oh, they're good. They're helping. Yeah, for a minute it makes sense. But then all of a sudden they get this greed. Oh, it's the next level. That's why Michael Jackson died. I think that was part of the whole situation. Mike was done. Mike was tired. Mike was wore out. They was like, nah, we done with you, buddy. In all these celebrities, look at the patterns, brothers and sisters. Look at the patterns. The patterns look the same. The patterns end up being the same routine. The Tupacs, the Biggie Smalls, they all the same. That's why I don't get what people don't understand. Jay-Z, they letting Jay-Z live. Because he's just following the path. He's following what they want him to do. You with me? Look at Dr. Dre going through some things. Even though we don't really know because we're not in their life. I don't live their life. I don't really care about them dudes. They don't do nothing for me. And that's why I don't understand about people how we worship. We worship these idols. They talk about idol worship in your Bible or in your Quran or in your Gita and all the rest of these so-called spiritual book or whatever religious books. But we idol worship like a motherfucker. Literally. But we quick to, and it's funny, whatever they give us, LeBron James can say anything and get away with it. Nobody checks him. The only time he get checked is when it's against basketball or something that they don't want him to say. The Golden Boy. What they call him, the Golden Boy? No. I'm sure Michael Jordan's the same scenario. He say something crazy, they're going to take all his money away too. Like Oprah. Haven't y'all noticed Oprah haven't been saying shit? Y'all not with me. I'm telling you, it's so much. The signs are there. That's all I'm saying. With these podcast shows or with these audio shows, all the signs are there. We just got to pay attention to the signs. The problem is we're not able to pay attention because we so caught up at work. We so caught up at doing something that I don't think is giving us, creating happiness. That's the thing right there. Let me say it like that. I think we're caught up doing stuff that really don't make us happy. You see what I'm saying? We're just doing it just to be doing it so I can feel like I'm honorable. My pride. You know? Y'all not with me. But she said, association is no causation. That's what this sister broke down. Association is no causation. And that's the process what she's been talking about the vaccine situation. And like she was saying earlier, we are not doing science, we are doing warfare. And that's my sister, Dr. Nancy Turner Baker. And I want to end it with this. This is what we should be doing anyway. We should be improving our diet. And I mean in our diet physically, eating the foods, mentally, spiritually, growing, meditation, some kind of fitness, physical activity, some type of training, right? Improvement on your sanitation, improvement of your cleanliness. Cleanliness is godliness, as they would say. You remember that saying? Cleanliness is godliness. And education, extracting, getting that education is there. You just got to dig a little deeper, get around that bullshit propaganda they always telling us. Because there's plenty of that going on. Think about it when the TV only had a few channels. Y'all remember that? Well, none of y'all. Well, some of y'all on here probably remember that. When we only had a few channels, we probably had about 5 channels. Then that invention of the HBO came out, and brother, we had all kinds of channels. When cable came out, then we started seeing 110 channels. Then all of a sudden we started getting crazy channels. Brothers started getting up there. You wonder, all these channels? I don't watch enough TV. I wasn't even really in TV back in the day anyway. Because we actually played. We played outside. We made forts. We played hide and seek. We played basketball. We went to play football. You feel me? We got creative. I don't know what y'all doing now, but a lot of y'all seem like y'all behind them computers. Them texting and all that other fun stuff that we claim we do, but we're not social. But on that note, to each his own, as they would say, but each have to take step. Like Garvey used to say, each one teach one. Man, if that brother was here, Garvey man, I'm telling you. I wish we can bring Garvey back, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Gandhi. Shit, all them brothers. All them brothers. Even Tupac. You know what I'm saying? Biggie Small, all of them. Bring them all back. I'll bring all the people back who was actually standing up against the status quo. Because that's basically why they're dead. Even the John F. Kennedy, the Robert Kennedys, all of them was standing up against the beast. Because that's what we up against. We know this. We know who we working with. That's another thing. We know who we working with. It's funny because how racism is in the system. Racism is in the system because we participate in the system. You see what I'm saying? We participate in the system. Then we're wondering why racism. Oh, them cops, they tripping on me. They tripping on our neighborhood. But then we don't even upgrade our neighborhoods. We don't even take care of our neighborhoods. We throw trash down on the floor, on the ground, and talking about our neighborhoods. Clean your shit up. You feel me? Take respect for yourself. That's the key thing. Start with yourself, then everything else will become. That's why I'm a big advocate of even walking my neighborhood. I walk my neighborhood all the time. You know what I'm saying? But I walk with pride. My pants ain't hanging halfway down to my fucking knees, looking like a stupid ass retard. Then they wonder why you talking about respect. You gotta act like respect, give respect before you can demand respect. Oprah. Russell Simmons. Farrakhan. Ooh, I want to get on that subject. I want to talk about Farrakhan. how fucked up he done did. The shit, the conditioning he's been doing to our brothers and sisters on the Nation of Islam. I don't know what the hell done happened to that. Scientology. You know, come on, brothers and sisters. I'm out of here. Peace. Y'all have a great, awesome day. Make sure y'all download this episode. Send it to everybody. Let everybody know what's up. I might be X-rated. It might be X-rated. You can tell them it's PG. Because the curse words, all the curse words do is just make it more fun. You know, it makes it more interesting, right? But like I told you, I know I'm getting profiled. I've been limited. I know I've been limited. They've been tripping on my, kicking me off the YouTube too. I've been dealing with that too. I just don't got as many subscribers as a lot of these other guys been doing. But they know, they're like, no, we can't have your content on there because your content is pretty. It's going against the status quo. It got people thinking. It got people rioting. But see, you know where we can start rioting? We can riot with our money. You see what I'm saying? Where we spend our money. Stop supporting these institutions that we know has been bullshit. We go and support, you know, like Citibank and all these big ass banks, Bank of America and all these motherfuckers that really, you know, they're crooked. You know what I'm saying? You know they're crooked. But we do it anyway. That's the crazy thing I don't understand about the conditioning, about the work that we have been. Carter G. Woodson. Go read his book, Miseducation of the Negro. Everybody should read that. I think that should be the first book everybody should read in their whole career, their whole adult life. Carter G. Woodson is the author. Miseducation of the Negro. And it's basically talking about education of everyone, literally. If a slave know he have to go to the back door, he's going to keep going to the back door. He's not going to go in that front door. And he's not going to know he has a present. He's not going to know he has the understanding of to be greater than he can be greater than. Or becoming greater than becoming greater. You have the opportunity. You have the power. Y'all remember that He-Man series? Back in the 80s. We loved that cartoon. I wish they kept that cartoon. He-Man. Shit. I have the power. We're out. Much love.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.